welcome back to Flix. We review movies every week, and we just want to say thanks for joining us today.
Okay, there it was. I was a little lost there, Tim.
I was
Had
like,
to bury
this
the
is
lead.
pretty generic.
I know. I was like, I'm sitting here like, how's she gonna get into this? She's gonna do something. There it is. Okay. I
gotta keep you guys on your
Sam
toes.
always says the ones that you're like, wait for it, and then she does some kind of pun.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
I sit here for half an hour trying to come up with something funny and end up with some like hot trash usually.
Dude, the one time you did like the Jaws intro,
Oh.
I would say my intros are almost always singing.
Yeah.
For some ridiculousness.
I am not a creative nor clever man, so I just have to like dig around the internet until I find something.
Tim's like, am I on intro duty? Let me start a week ahead. All
Yeah.
right, here we go. Shit, I forgot it.
Well, I am Tim.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Tim.
Hey,
Wait,
Tim,
did
how are
you say Sam? Are you Sam? Did you say
Shit,
it?
Sam, did you say your name,
Oh, I
Sam?
don't know.
What's your name?
It's been said at this point.
I think you
though.
did say it, Sam. So, all right.
I
Sam,
think you need to
name.
announce your name.
Thanks for reminding me.
But you didn't answer us. What's your name? Social security number?
Oh my! Whoa.
Date of birth?
Whoa!
You can't just give that stuff out on the internet.
I know.
Anyway, yeah, throw it out to our social media platforms because we have those, and you can post it all over there. We have Instagram and Twitter almost exclusively, unless you count, Spotify and Apple and whatnot as social media, which I wouldn't because they're more of casting, places, platforms.
Casting media.
Yeah, casting media. So, of course, we're on Anchor, Spotify, Apple, and handfuls of others. Sometimes we've had issues with our episodes being on there, but that's okay. Just let us know if you like that platform more. We'll try and get on there. We have a website, flipperflix.com.
Woo!
And in there, as well as some of the platforms, no, not the platforms, the social media locations, you can give us recommendations, come chat to us, yell at us, tell us we're trash, whatever you want to do. We'll probably interact with you, because why not? And then we post episodes every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, unless we don't, in which case, our bad, because it does happen. It has happened. It may happen. It does happen sometimes. So
It's happened twice in the last 2 years.
Yeah, so,
Year and a half.
it's all good. We try.
We're pretty consistent.
We're pretty good and bad.
I'd say we're mostly consistent at this point.
Yeah, and our bonus episodes tend to make up for it, I believe. So
Yeah.
check us out. Flipperflix.com, Instagram, Twitter, @Flipperflix. Give us some recommendations, because we love those. Yeah. I'm Tim.
Nice.
That was Sam. Sam said her name.
And then I'm Adam.
And that's Adam. Adam said his name because he's Adam.
I did. And this week I got Before Their Time.
Yes.
Which is just cult classics. And I was trying to be before their time and name it something other than cult classics.
Yeah. Trying to be cool.
I know. Sam's got a new one that she wants to do, Tim. By the way, it's called I'm calling it Double Digits.
Double Digits?
She wants a film that is less than 100 minutes.
I wanted to call it I'm tired of watching 2-hour films.
I like that one, though. That sounds like an interesting challenge, though, because you have a split of like when movies started getting longer, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And there's very rarely now that movies like are 90 minutes or so. You know what I mean?
Right,
So,
exactly.
yeah.
So I called it Double Digits because I was like, kind of nice sounding.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, anyways, we didn't get that this week. We got
That's not even on the wheel.
Cult Classic. Yeah, it's not on the wheel yet. It might not be till next year. Anyways, but I got The Lost Boys.
You chose.
I chose The Lost Boys.
Get it.
And I watched it on Pluto TV.
Tim, is that where you watched it?
Yes, correct.
Oh, you braved the commercials with us.
Yes.
I did.
There were a lot.
So, a little tip for people on Pluto. Because I found this out because, again, I fell asleep part of the way through this movie because I was watching it when I was going to bed, which I regret it for this one. But anyway, if you go to Pluto and you need to catch up back to where you were,
you got to scan.
You have to start over, or it like forced me to start over basically. And then because it doesn't like have a profile really.
Yeah.
But you have if you click further into the movie, like say you're at the beginning, you want to skip to like 3/4 the way through, it makes you watch commercials, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't skip all the way there. It only skips to the first time there would be commercials.
Oh,
so then you have to click again. You have to keep clicking and going through commercials unless you click and drag the bar, or I'm assuming you can do it on a TV or something with your remote and force it to go forward instead of clicking forward, But on the computer, I was able to click and drag the bar all the way to where I wanted it after I discovered that it was making me watch all these commercials again. And it only gave me one set of commercials, and I left off where I was. And then, of course, commercials again. But yeah, pro tip, Pluto.
Because most people haven't ventured there if they've not heard of it.
They have like a decent chunk of like movies.
They actually have some good ones.
I totally forgot they do live stuff too.
Yeah. So I was like looking through most popular because I couldn't find the search bar on our TV. I don't know if it has one for Pluto. So thankfully The Lost Boys was at the top of like most popular.
Yeah, it was like the 6th.
Yeah, but like as we were in that category, I was like, damn, these are like newish movies. Like I was shooketh by Pluto's arrangement of movies.
And it's got one of Sam's weirdest film loves.
Oh shit, yeah. We talked about this the other day to Masterminds. Gotta add that to the pod.
Yep.
One of these days we'll get it. Anywho.
Anyway, the synopsis for this film is after moving to a new town, two brothers discover that the area is a haven for vampires.
They discover it.
Discover
it.
They discover it.
They discover. I'm not illiterate.
Discover it.
I'm an illiterate.
Okay.
That's it.
Discover it.
They discover it.
I love that. That's my new favorite word. Discover it.
Oh, jeez.
Sorry about that.
Oh, jeez. Oh, bye.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so I'm going to just go into my expectations.
Yeah, you chose it. Why you choose it?
I did. I've heard about it from other vampire shenanigans.
Wait, you mean you've heard about a cult classic?
Whoa. That's not a cult classic anymore.
Whoa.
Get it out of here.
Anyway, sorry, we keep interrupting you.
Sam also thinks that I only get the cult classics at this point.
Yes.
It might be right for the season.
I feel like it is accurate.
But
somebody fact check that on Instagram. It has the highlights.
The highlight?
The highlights. And you'll be able
to
discover the highlights.
Anyways, so I have heard of this from like What We Do in the Shadows.
The internet's
making fun of Twilight. Admittedly, you should watch The Lost Boys instead.
Should you? Anyway, continue.
Anyways, so yeah, that's how I was just like, okay, let's watch it. Because I almost made you watch it during Halloween this year.
Mm-hmm.
And you were like, I don't want to watch another vampire film right now, Adam. And I'm like, okay.
You're like, fair. Because I had watched all the Twilights through.
She did.
This year. I forget why. We watched something that made me be like, I read Midnight Sun. So I was like, guess I gotta start that journey.
And if you watch Twilight and what's the third one? Eclipse?
Mm-hmm.
Apparently on the DVD, there's commentaries.
Where Robert Pattinson just shits on it. And I'm really upset that I don't own those DVDs.
We own the special edition of all the other ones.
And they didn't let him shit on it in those editions.
That's funny.
I was so salty.
So I need to go find those. But what about you, Tim? Sam's not getting to go next because she keeps interrupting me.
Yeah, so...
I've been punished.
Hey, punished!
I had heard of this movie, and I think I've seen bits and pieces of it, but I hadn't actually seen it. And this is one of Rihanna's favorite movies, apparently.
What?
I swear, we just randomly stumble into these.
I know, yeah. So yeah, I mean, I was pretty pumped for this movie. You said vampires, a cult classic, like, I don't know, like Kiefer Sutherland, like I was ready to go, you know? There's not much else to it. I was just excited for this movie.
Nice. What about you, Sam?
Let's see. Adam has talked about it, and I was like, okay. That's pretty much what I was geared up for. I was like, is it a cult classic? Like, I feel like I've heard about it. I didn't know if it was supposed to be scary or funny. I think you told us it was a horror comedy, but I didn't know.
I must say it's pretty light on... Like, there are funny parts in this film, but it's not a comedy.
Yeah.
It's like how I would say in a show, say like The Witcher, There are funny characters in that show, but I would never say The Witcher is a comedy.
It's a comedy.
The Witcher. No, it's not a comedy. The Jaskier is just funny.
Right, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. It's
Although, I guess Geralt is funny sometimes.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, like, I don't know if I would have classified this movie as a horror comedy.
Yeah.
But a horror, neither. I don't know what I would classify this film as. It would have to be horror comedy.
I guess. Because I was like, okay, so...
Spoilers.
I was just Tim. I didn't really have many expectations going into this one. But then, like, as I was watching it, like, I wanted to ask you guys, like, do you think at the time it was, like, a horror movie?
It might have been.
Or do you think it was always kind of in this weird realm of, like, horror comedy-ish? Because it seems like they tried hard to be scary at some parts, right?
Yeah.
Some parts they tried to be like, oh man, that's creepy, for sure.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if it aged.
Yeah.
But, and then at other parts, I'm like, if you went and Googled 80s punk, would you just get all of these random, like, teenagers or whatever agers?
Like when they first show up in Santa Carla?
Like everybody is dressed in, like, the spiky hair. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that didn't, like, I mean, I'm sure it existed, but not at that magnitude.
Yeah, like, was that a thing?
I just thought it was funny.
Yeah. I was also just very confused by the beginning. Basically, they're at the boardwalk, and they get into a fight with people on the carousel. Like, who fights people on a carousel? And then that one guy's like, you're not supposed to be here.
Yeah, they were always supposed to be kicked off the fucking boardwalk.
Yeah. Like, so they don't eat people, I guess?
Probably.
But, like, I don't know. Were they having a fight with some other vamps on the carousel? Like, what was happening?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was actually thinking it was other vamps. Tim?
Yeah, I mean, maybe later on that would make me think they were other vampires, but at the beginning, it's just like, okay, well, these guys are like...
Just
we already know they're something, right? You know, it's focusing on them. It's Kiefer Sutherland. You know, they're vampires. They're probably the vampires. The other guys they're picking on are just picking a fight with vampires, and they don't know it. Basically, is how I saw it.
Now, I guess if I had not told you guys this movie had vampires in it, it would have taken a little bit of time to realize that there are vampires in this.
I think so. Till, like, those two, the frog children were like...
The Edgar Allan Poe?
Yeah.
Frog children? Yeah.
Where they were like, here, read this comic. Don't you think that they're vampires?
Those guys are weird.
I know.
Why, they were so jumpy to him. Like, I don't understand.
If you want to hear the weirder part, there are 2 sequels that feature those 2 characters.
What?
Why?
I don't know. They came out in 2008 and 2010.
They were like, you know who's popular from this movie? These 2.
They're like, you know what's popular again? Vampires back in 2008 because of Twilight.
Yeah. Let's bring it back.
But, yeah. The beginning, you have Sam and Michael. Those are the brothers that I brought up. Sam, first off, great attire. Fantastic.
Yeah.
But I'm going to guess that's not what people wore in Phoenix. He stood out there, too.
Maybe. Some of his shirts were hilarious. It was just like, it was a lot.
It was.
But a lot, okay, fair. But what about the concert dude who's wearing, like,
are you talking
tight pink leather pants and these crazy, like, chains on his neck and his...
Dude, Saxophone Man?
Yeah.
Do not diss
and
Saxophone
his, like,
Man.
long hair. Like, he was wild looking, too. So I don't know that you can really say that anybody looked, like, out of
I would say
place.
I would say Saxophone Dude looks more in place than Sam did. Sam the character.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I was just
because he was wearing bright colors. That was the difference.
Yeah, I was just very confused by Saxophone Man because I thought he was wearing tight pink leather pants.
They were purple. Tim's favorite color.
There's a lot going on at the beginning that I didn't understand. Let's just, like, it felt like an 80s fever dream.
Yeah.
It did.
For a lot of the movie.
It did. And, like, I mean, there's a quote at the beginning, no TV means no MTV.
I know.
And I was like, yeah, this is definitely 80s. My next comment was 80s were wild.
Well, so they move in with their grandpa, right? And like his house was also like interesting to me. So like he puts a beaver next to him to like protect him, like and then like later on in the film you see all the taxidermist things that he had like in a closet. But also like the clock on Sam's wall in his room was like a big gigantic watch. Did you guys
I'm not
see
the
that?
only one who saw that.
I was like, what is happening in this house?
Tim?
I don't remember seeing that, no.
It looked like a watch.
It was just like a gigantic watch.
Yeah.
I did try to note some stuff that was just weird about his house. I don't know. It just seemed everything was just very odd.
Yeah.
Okay, I think Tim's going to be really excited about this theory.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
There are people online that believe that the grandpa was a half vampire this whole time.
Okay.
And he uses the taxidermy blood to like that's how he feeds. And he calls it his root beer.
I can see it too.
I could very well see that, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I like that theory.
That's why he's like safe and shit, maybe, yeah.
Yeah. And like that's why he has all those stakes on his car at the very end, and you're like, where the fuck did you get all those?
Just chilling.
I thought it was funny though. Because I was like, huh. That's like not too in-depth written theory, and I like it. It's short and quick.
Yeah.
It was redundant to say the quick part there.
It's okay.
It's fine.
We forgive you.
At least I don't read the funny pages at a make-out point.
What?
Okay. Tim, did you notice that?
They were like reading a comic at like...
They were. And then she was like pushing him away. Their car was also like covered in stuff. Like the windows were all blocked up and everything. I was so confused.
Yeah. Yeah, and then like the hood gets ripped off.
Yes, that I remember.
But the girl is reading like just funny comic pages. She's not reading a whole comic book. She's reading funny pages.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
And did I already bring up
that was her big Friday night. Continue.
I was like, did I already bring up in like the Blob? Do make-out points still exist?
I feel like
probably.
Yeah.
Probably did or probably do exist.
Both.
Probably both, yeah.
Yeah, both is good.
Okay. I always feel like they're at the top of a hill, and you know, we live in a very flat town. Mm-hmm. So we don't really get them. I guess Eden Park in Cincinnati might be.
Yeah. Right? There's like a pull off. Tim's like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just going to say avoid parks at night.
Okay.
That's it.
Just like in the Blob, you might get abducted by an alien.
Or this movie.
Your
car top will get ripped off.
Yeah.
And you murdered.
That's what I'm saying. There's vampires. Don't go there.
Yeah. Indeed. Okay, so obviously there's vampires in this film. And why are those comic book kids the only people that are like, dude, you gotta watch out for the vampires? Like, is everybody else a vampire in town?
Right.
I don't know.
I just thought it was funny.
Yeah, it seems odd, for sure.
But I don't know, the two comic book kids, I thought they looked and acted 50 like years old, but looked like they were 13-year-olds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That checks out to me too.
Yeah.
They were very odd characters.
Yeah, they were. And then now Tim, have you seen Bill and Ted?
No.
Okay, I always think you might have.
Nope.
But
negative Ghost Rider.
So there was, of the 4 vampires, there is the most basic fucking names in the world. David and Paul. And then you got Dwayne and Marco. David is Kiefer Sutherland, just so we know. Mm-hmm. And then Marco is Alex Winter, and he's got curly hair, right?
Sure.
So I've seen Bill and Ted too many times. Alex Winter is not intimidating. Mm-mm. Like, you can put as much weird vampire shenanigans on. He was not intimidating to me at all. He's the first one that dies. Mm-hmm. If you need to identify him.
I don't know that any of them were really intimidating, to be honest.
No.
Like, not until, like, later on in the film when they actually look like vampires. Otherwise, they just look like...
Even then, they weren't, like, vampires. They were just kind of like, oh, you have, like, a scary face, but you don't actually have any abilities of a vampire besides flying. All right.
And strength.
And you got your,
they don't really even have strength too much, because, like...
Yeah.
They would get in fights, and then the humans would be able to hold their own until they like throw them. Like that happens a lot in movies though, and it really irritates me is when something is stronger than somebody else. Like for instance, The Witcher. We were just talking about this. Geralt has the strength of
whoa.
What?
I've not seen season 2.
I'm not getting anything like depth like that.
Okay.
I'm just saying Canon Geralt has strength of like 10 humans, like 10 strong people, right? And like they'll get in fights with normal people and like struggle for a moment. If that like that stuff pisses me off, but so yeah, especially when it's in the movie like this one where they're like, oh, they could chuck somebody so far or do whatever, but then it's
rip the hood off a car.
Yeah, and then they like struggle to fight a human hand to hand. I don't know.
Sorry, we just needed to get that Tim rant out.
Yeah, we promised you one, and there
we
you
did.
Go.
And it was unexpected for me.
I wasn't prepared. No, I could see how that would be bothersome, though.
Oh,
it's inconsistent. Anything inconsistent grinds our gears.
I know. The only person that I can be okay with that is Spider-Man. Because in the comics, he literally is... He was like the third strongest superhero in Marvel for like the longest time.
Yeah, he is really strong, yeah.
And like somebody took over his body one time and murdered somebody by accident. They're like, what the fuck? He's been throwing punches. He literally punches people less.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't want to kill them.
Yep.
Spider-Man facts. Jinx. Wasn't even planned.
I know.
We hang out too much.
I know.
Anyway.
You're going to have to wait till Mom hears about this.
I thought that was hilarious. Like, oh, hey, so your brother's a vamp. And you're like... Wait till Mom finds out about this.
He I don't know. Like when he first like figures it out, he's like, "You're a reflection. You're a vampire," and it's like immediate. Like that's it. Immediately, vampire done. Boom. Runs away. You're a vampire. And then he's like kind of chill about it though.
Yeah, like remarkably chill about it.
I liked Sam.
I thought he was great.
I thought it was a good he was the comedy, but like that's what I was saying. Like one character doesn't make comedy.
Yeah, that's true.
Dude. Okay, do you know who Ed Herman is? Or I guess Max in this film, Tim? Max was like the date guy.
Yeah.
So that actor, he's in Gilmore Girls, so which Sam has watched a ton of, and I have happened to watch it with her. Anyways, he's always been old. Always old. I've never seen him without gray hair. Until now. Yeah. And I was staring at him and I'm like, holy shit. He looks like what's his name, Sam? Stu from
Stu from The Hangover.
Or like Andy from The Office.
Did you see
he does
it?
Kinda.
Yeah.
Like I think it was the head. And I was like, what is happening?
Mm-hmm. You mean those old people? They don't just come out of the wound old?
Yeah, no, Diane Wiest, or is it Diane Wiest?
The mom.
Yeah, she fucking looks the exact same, but young. Like her hair is the exact same. She's just a little younger, and I'm like, what is happening? Young
You're
people.
Supposed to be old.
I know. Like the main character in Kiefer Sutherland
looks the same.
Yeah, they didn't really change that much.
Yeah.
They got wrinkles. But I mean, what do you guys think of the girlfriend Star? You had hippie parents too? That was a good line.
Oh, why? I don't know. I mean, I thought she was fine.
I actually think she was kind of needed in this one.
I think she helped tell the story of like the half vampires.
She was integral, I would say. Like she wasn't just there. She seemed actually like she had a purpose.
Yeah, which I know
aside from a love perspective, but
yeah, that 80s sex scene though. God. I was like, I know how much you love those. And this one lasted
every sex scene. It doesn't matter what it is. I end up picking up my phone and not watching. Every day. It's a reaction to sex scenes. I'm just like, ugh, and I just pick up my phone.
Tim's like, I've watched Game of Thrones too much. This does nothing for me.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
No, it was just so funny because like it was very 80s-esque. to me.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just slowly take off that strap. Like, just background. Anyways. Ghouls?
Ghouls.
So, who said ghouls?
I don't know. They said something about the town, and they were like, yeah, like ghouls. And we were like, ghouls?
Ghouls?
You said ghouls? Anytime anybody says ghouls in a movie, I'm like, this is some good writing.
Yeah. And Tim, you've seen The Dead Don't Die, right?
Yeah, with Bill Murray?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's, like, not only Sunny, like, do we have our fascination with the word ghouls? Right. But in that movie, he's like, ghouls? The undead? Like, Adam Driver's ghouls line is just, Sam just laughs for 5 minutes when he says it. I don't know. So we get very excited.
For ghouls. Goblins. Ghosties.
Yeah, it's like flies and the undead, and they go together just like bullets and guns.
Ah, yes, that was a good line.
Did you have that one written down?
Yep,
no, but I remember when they said that, I was like, what? Because it was those frog kids again. Like, they're just, like, so weird. And another line that they had was, better get yourself a garlic t-shirt. And at the time, I was like, you mean, like, a t-shirt that was, like, made of garlic instead of cotton? Like, how does that work?
That's what I thought.
Yeah, but then later on, you see him just, like, wearing the wreath, the necklace of, like, garlic around. And I'm like, all right,
Did
cool.
you have pasta tonight?
Yeah. Also, just that much shredded garlic on top of your pasta.
Oh my God.
That would be disgusting.
Holy shit.
No.
Did you eat that? I was like, could you eat that, Tim?
Yeah, I'd try it.
All right, sign him up. 2022, eating a pile of garlic.
Oh.
But no, I mean, like, I thought that was very reasonable when they were, like, trying to test Max, and he was like, it's just a lot of garlic. I was like, it is a lot of garlic. I agree.
That was a correct reaction to that much garlic.
Yeah, and then when they, like, cut the lights, and then they have that little, like, mini mirror that's, like, right up in his face.
Right.
It's just like, what? But, yeah. I don't know. I thought that, like, he was... At first, I was like, ooh, he's kind of sketchy because of his dog, right? But then I was like, he's got to be a red herring. So I was honestly shook when he was like...
When he was actually the leader?
Like, by the time we got there, you're like, okay, he's actually the leader. Because, like, Kiefer Sutherland is dead and nothing's happened. But, like, there for a little bit, they had me for a loop. Because I was like, he's the red herring. There's no way this guy's it.
Right?
I don't know about you guys.
I suspected him the whole time.
I thought it, but
even
then
when
they did...
like, because the reason was that he specifically had to get invited in. Like, they showed that right there, and I was like, there's no other reason besides that entirely. That's a big vampire rule. No matter how they play this, he is a vampire. And,
which is always so funny in What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah.
Like,
it's so
can
great.
we come in?
May we come in? Yeah.
What? Why are you asking
We're open
that?
all night. God, I love that show.
In.
So I wasn't really fazed by the whole garlic thing and stuff, but yeah.
Dude, speaking of What We Do in the Shadows, though, so there are two parts that this movie is referenced in it.
In the TV show or the movie?
One in the movie, one in the TV show.
Okay.
So the whole scene where they do make him eat worms. I mean, worms in air quotes. They do that scene
in the movie.
And I was like, Stu.
Nice callback.
Yeah. Stu's great, though. And then they do it when they're Vampire Council. Kiefer Sutherland could not make it. They comment on how
they say that?
Yeah, how Kiefer Sutherland couldn't make it to the Vampire Council.
That's hilarious.
That's amazing.
I know. Yeah, it's in reference to this character. I know! Like, Tilda Swinton's character. I was
so confused by that.
Yeah, like, so every character in there really was a vampire in another movie.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, Tilda Swinton's in some... The guy who did The Dead Don't Die, he does a vampire film in the early 2000s, and Tilda Swinton is in that.
Yeah.
And she plays that character in the show.
That's awesome.
Gotta add that to our list.
Oh, yeah, it looks good.
Since we're Tilda fans.
Tilda and that dude, that director. But eventually, the Frog Brothers decide to hunt these vampires. with the thickest steaks I have ever seen.
Seriously,
Yes.
how are you supposed to pierce anything with those?
I know. I was like, that's not going to impale somebody. Like, that's going to dent them.
Right.
Here, let me just poke you with this.
It'll be fine. No big deal.
So I
I
had an.
go ahead. No.
I was gonna say I had an issue with. So Max's plan the whole time was to get the kids in there so that the mom wouldn't have a choice, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So my issue was David wanted what's his face to be Star's first kill. So that doesn't line up with the whole plan.
Yeah.
No. David went rogue.
Yeah.
David did go rogue. Max did kind of allude to David going a little crazy.
Mm-hmm. Also, like, when he was changing, they kind of just left him, and they never, like, showed up. Like, he was changing, trying to get answers, and it was just, like, Star there, and I don't know, they just weren't there. The other four.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
I know.
And then
It
the
was
kid
weird.
that, like, randomly is a vampire, too.
Yeah, they fed him. They convinced him to drink the vampire blood.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Sorry, Tim. You made me get to one of my points.
Hmm.
So with the whole noodle scene and the rice scene, and David wanting Michael to die, apparently in Chinese and Japanese culture, leaving chopsticks in food and handing it to somebody is to wish death upon them.
That's fucking funny.
I know. So I was like, it was purposefully done, and I was like, huh. Would you look at that?
Yeah.
Also, Michael's name was said 118 times.
Was that an IMDb fact?
Michael.
That is an IMDb fact. Michael.
Probably most of the time used by Sam.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sam was funny, though.
Damn,
Yeah.
that's pretty funny.
And I think once the Frog Brothers decided, they're like, yeah, we're going to suit up and kill him. Like, so they get all that holy water, which I'm still confused by because they only had like 2 little canteens and then they fill a bathtub magically.
Yeah, what the heck?
But-
I guess if
Yeah.
they touch other sources of water, it becomes holy water. I think that's the theory behind that kind of stuff. I have heard that before.
Okay.
Any amount of
And
holy
then-
water turns it, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I've not heard that. Like, I would agree with that. Like, that checks out.
Yeah.
That checks out. Like, vampire killing kit. We need Guillermo.
Yeah, but
Guillermo.
Gizmo.
which I mean, he also has pretty thick steaks in that.
No.
show. Just not like these.
No, they're a lot thinner.
Anyway.
They're like a quarter of the size.
Anyway.
And he can chuck them at like
He can launch. I love it.
stakes into the wall.
Yeah.
Will you stop it with
I am an incredible baker. Oh no. I love that line.
Oh my.
Wait, Baker?
You don't remember that? When he's like, he learns that he's Van Helsing, and he's like, oh, but yeah, I mean, I'm sure, like, you know, I have a baking ancestry, and something about, like, doesn't mean he has baking, he's good at baking if he's got bakers in his lineage. And he said, oh, wait, I am an incredible baker, and that's when he's like, oh no. Like, it must pass down.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
But with the holy water, this was the point I was trying to get to and we got sidetracked.
So when
I think that they needed bigger squirt guns. They needed
did.
some like super soaker shit because you got that whole bathtub full of holy water and then they only have the little tiny guns and I'm like, you're only gonna squirt like and then it's gonna burn him in like one spot like it does that one later dude.
Right.
Although once they did get that guy in the bathtub, that was pretty scarring when his like face came off of his bones. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, is that the
Melted
right
it
way to
away.
describe that? Yeah.
Did
And all the blood spouts out!
Oh, dude.
That was scarring. Too
Yeah.
much blood.
So much blood. I was gonna ask, did glitter shoot out when they killed their first one?
I don't know.
When they killed Marco?
I hope so. That'd be funny.
I swear glitter came out. But dude.
Twilight before its time.
This is my line. I was trying to find
I
it.
was
Sorry.
like, you started something. So
Yeah,
I was
you were
waiting
starting
for
to
you
say
to get
something, and then you
there.
just gotta stop.
So I have to comment on Sam's bloody mess.
Mm-hmm.
I said the whole house is the overlook hallway.
Ooh, yeah, this is true.
Like just the blood hallway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, from The Shining.
The shinning.
Mm-hmm.
as The Simpsons says. I also have a line that says he went boom boom. Stereo.
Oh, he was like stereo kill.
Oh,
or
that's
something
right.
Like that.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, why did I write that?
He went boom boom.
He went boom boom.
Nice.
Very professional.
Yeah, obviously.
And my last note that I have is that last line, though.
Yeah, because they were like, the grandpa, he's like, he comes in and drinks his whatever.
His root beer.
His root beer, but...
Air quotes.
Yeah, I don't know. It looked sketchy. And he's like, that's one thing I could never get used to in Santa Carla. Oh, the damn vampires. And then the song, like, People Are Strange comes in, and I'm like, that's 100% why this movie is a cult classic, is, like, the ending. I'm convinced.
I could see it.
Yeah. Tim?
Yeah.
Oh, I actually do have 2 other notes.
I do have some as well.
Wow. Get after it.
So Kiefer Sutherland's contact lens went rogue on him and like just started acting up.
Oh no!
During the scene where he gets his hand burned by the sun and he cries. It's a real tear because his contact lens caused him to cry.
Oh no!
Oh, that's pretty funny. I was wondering about like if that was a real tear or not. Weird.
I know. I was like, that's a very like it just seemed like such a purposeful tear to be an accident.
Yeah.
The director chose to do this movie because he says that vampires, and I quote, are the only erotic monsters.
Probably true.
But, like, I don't think of this movie as an erotic movie.
No.
Like,
Or you were alive in the 80s?
Yeah, I guess I don't understand the 80s.
80s were wild, man.
Oh my gosh.
But Tim, what were your other notes?
My favorite quote was the grandpa with Sam was like, "Let's go to town." They get in the car. He's like warming it up.
I forgot he did
He
that.
gets out of the car and he's like, "I thought we were going to town." He's like, "That's as close to town as I'd like to get."
Which makes sense because he knows of all the vampires.
Great. Yep.
When he gets back, he's like, "Hey, Michael, you know the rule about how you take somebody's car out, you fill it up with gas? No? Well, now you do."
Yeah. I think I was tied between Sam and the grandpa because
He's a
I feel like when they were together, it was like perfect. Like when he was looking for like a substitute for aftershave and Sam's like, just use the Windex. And he actually uses it. You're like, what in the world? And he's like pleased with himself that he used the Windex.
I know.
Their relationship was funny. I liked it.
Oh, and did you guys know David originally doesn't technically die?
Oh.
Because he was stabbed by a horn, not a stake.
I was wondering about that.
And he didn't explode.
Okay.
They said that they were originally teeing it up to have a sequel called The Lost Girls.
Okay.
And then it never happened, so he is dead.
Yeah. I did notice that because I was like, wait, I don't think he landed on a wooden stake. So I was just confused. But it seemed like he was dead. So I was like, that checks out, I guess. In this world of vampires.
Yeah. And Tim, I feel like we've interrupted you quite a few times.
Oh, no.
Do you have any other notes?
I was curious as to why the kid was having a bath at his age.
First off, baths are great.
I loved that scene.
Gross. That was a cool scene, but it was weird that the kid's having a bath.
I know.
I don't know. Maybe they didn't have a shower. Sure, whatever. All right.
Go take a bath, Sam.
You don't understand baths, Tim. You can get this tray. You have a glass of wine. You have a candle. You have a book.
Oh,
There's
I
like
get the wine, but
not the rest
I don't
of it.
want to sit in a bath for like an hour.
They don't fit me.
Also, his robe was dope. Anyway.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not like necessarily a big guy or anything. I'm average height and whatnot. I still like too much of my body's out of the bath. It has to be a deep tub. Like I don't want to have my chest.
Right, and then you're like cold if you come out of the water a little bit, and you're like, ugh, I went back in.
Yeah, and then like you gotta put your knees up to like get more of your body down, but then you're like, this is uncomfortable.
Right.
So you just do this like teeter-totter thing of going up and down in a bathtub, and Sam's sitting here 5 foot square, being like, this is great.
Yeah, I don't understand.
So,
And
yeah.
Sam was not that big.
No.
So, but
He
yeah,
wasn't.
I can see. I mean, I don't know. He's a little old.
It's just fun to teach you. I actually do like Baz. It's just I need a bigger tub.
Anyway.
Nonetheless.
What else did you have?
Yeah.
Coming back to the grandpa having his own shelf of stuff, Old Fart is the label that he had on it. It was great.
I know. He had that before they moved in.
Yeah. So, what's up with that? Like,
I think it just supports the theory.
Yeah, that's
Yar.
true.
And then, show me what you've got. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
All right, so the cast is done by Michael. He's the first on the list. He's played by Jason Patrick with no K. Yeah, it's Patrick.
Gotcha.
It's weird. I'd never seen it like that. He's in Wayward Pines, season 2. I don't know if you ever got to that season, Tim.
I think I started it. I don't think I finished it.
He's the doctor dude, like the main character.
Gotcha.
He's also in The Losers and Sleepers. Sam is played by Corey Haim. He's in License to Drive. Lucas in The Silver Bullet. Lucy, who I also recognize, is played by Diane Wiest. She's in Life in Pieces. The Birdcage.
Best.
Yeah, Sam loves Life in Pieces. It's pretty funny. It's got Josh Brolin's dad in it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's married to Diane Wiest, and it's pretty funny.
And Tom Hanks' son.
Oh, Colin?
Mm-hmm.
You know, best friend Colin. Anyway, she's also in Edward Scissorhands. Clickety-clack, yeah. The grandpa, because we all need to see more movies with Bernard Hughes.
Yeah.
He's in Tron, like the original.
Nice.
Doc Hollywood, which I've never heard of.
What?
And then...
Doc Hollywood?
Why do I feel like I have heard of it, but I've not seen it.
I've not heard of it.
Okay. And then Sister Act 2.
Hmm.
Max is played by Edward Herrmann, which I said was from Gilmore Girls. He's also in Annie and Overboard. Star is played by Jamie Gertz. She's in Twister, 16 Candles, and Still Standing. There are a lot of people in this movie. It's been a while since. We did a couple South Korean films recently. And there's less information on those.
Yeah. I feel like they have smaller ensemble casts, too.
Yeah.
It's like 2 or 3 main characters. Anyway, continue.
David's played by Kiefer Sutherland. He's in 24. Mirrors, The Phone Booth. Tim's probably going to be like, and?
I don't know.
Okay.
I
don't know why. I feel like you're a Kiefer Sutherland guy.
I like him, but I didn't know that was him until the movie. And I was like, oh, right, that's Kiefer Sutherland. I always forget who
He's referred to in Gilmore Girls, right?
Yeah.
Luke's friends with him or something.
Mm-hmm.
Paul is played by... Okay, Paul and Dwayne didn't do as much. Paul's played by Brooke McCarter. He's in Double Switch, The Emerging Past, and Thrashin'. He seems like a very 80s actor. And then Dwayne is played by Billy Worth. He's in MacArthur Park. It's 2 words. 1 movie.
Gotcha.
Kismet and Body Snatchers. I feel like I've heard of Body Snatchers.
Yeah, I think it's another cult classic.
And then Marco is played by Alex Winter. He's in Bill and Ted.
Wow.
I love Bill and Ted. But he actually directed Zappa and the Panama Papers. So after like mid to late 90s, he stopped acting for quite a bit of time, and he got into like production and directing.
Nice.
The director is Joel Schumacher. Don't know. Now Tim's gonna be like, I love that movie. I liked that movie. And third one, I don't know his opinion. The number 23.
Yeah.
Checks out.
Yeah.
Phantom of the Opera.
Yep.
And then Batman and Robin. That was the only one I wasn't sure on of you.
I like it, but
apparently Jim Carrey actually did try out for one of the roles. I think for David.
interesting.
He plays a vampire in the 80s at one point.
Huh.
In his young acting days.
Like when he was an alien.
Yeah. That was great.
Nice.
You know, Earth Girls Are Easy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's all my notes, and that's all my notes. And the critics gave this a 77%. audience with an 85%, IMDb with a 7.3 out of 10, and Google with a 92%.
Nice.
So let's go with Sam first.
Me first. I mean, it was kind of an 80s wild ride, but I was here for it. I'd probably flip it on for Halloween. I don't know. I liked the comic relief that Sam gave us, and it's just kind of like a weird movie, and I don't know. I just like the weirdness.
Yeah.
Tim?
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the whole thing. I really don't have anything weird to say about it. I don't think it was a horror. I could see it more as a comedy.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not a full-fledged comedy.
Right.
Yeah,
it's weird.
It is weird. It's got comical moments, yeah. So, labeling aside, I think the Grey movie is great.
Yeah.
I don't really have any holes to poke in it besides, vampires. If you're going to be strong, you're strong. If you're going to be weak, you're weak. And the fact that they killed the one dude, the one vampire, instead of, just trying to go after the one they thought was the head.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was very strange to me that they just killed one, and then they ended up...
I thought they said they didn't know which
themselves.
one.
I thought they assumed it was David afterwards, but it was weird that they were just going to kill him instead of trying to figure it out. But
yeah.
Other than
but
that,
they knew that they explode, and I'm like,
yeah.
what the fuck?
I thought the movie was fantastic, and I think a lot of people need to see it. So definitely flip it on.
Nice.
I too would flip it on.
Nice.
And I think it might not be in every Halloween film, but when I'm like, let's get weird.
Yeah.
And see, let's go to the 80s. I need to just take a trip, literally, to the 80s and just watch this very odd vampire film. Because, it was about vampires, but, at the beginning, it wasn't all about it.
No, it was kind of more about the town and the mystery of the town.
I know, they didn't lay on the vampires hard until about midway through the film.
Yeah.
But you could tell something was weird.
Yeah.
They kept focusing on them. Anyway, continue.
I will say that on Pluto, this movie comes up as 152 minutes. I mean, an hour and 52 minutes. 152 would be real fucking long.
Yeah.
But apparently IMDb says it's an hour and 37 minutes, so Pluto's got some commercials.
Oh, I could tell they had some commercials.
I swear, every time something big would happen, and a commercial.
Yeah. Immediately.
All right. Anyways, we'll get to next week. Let's see what Sam is getting.
Da, da, da.
Da, 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 da. You're going to get there before their time. Actually, you won't, because we're all out of those. So you remember how we lost that pick 3?
Yeah.
We got it back.
Wow. It was my pick 3 last time, too. Look at that.
So Tim, what do you want to pick this week?
Do
you want to pick...
platform genre or...
I'll pick the platform. You can pick the genre. How about that?
Okay.
Because I picked... we did it opposite last time, but it didn't go through. But I think I'm going to choose HBO Max.
It's into Max. Uh-oh.
I can make it really easy for a movie that came out yesterday.
Well, she still has to pick the right number.
Oh, correct.
Because I know which one he's talking about.
You do know what I'm talking about. I'm going to go ahead and try it.
You're going to try to get
Well, I mean, you might end up getting the first or the second or the third one.
I know.
So you go on fantasy and sci-fi?
Yeah, fantasy sci-fi. I guess it would be more than action.
Here, I'll check for you, man.
Yeah, I'll check too for myself.
Oh, don't worry, Lord of the Rings is all up in here too.
Oh shit! All right, but that's the problem with Lord of the Rings. If you get the third one, we're gonna have to watch the first two first, and then.
Fun fact: I already did that.
Yeah, I did that last week, so I'm all caught up. We just didn't do Return of the King.
Fair.
All right, Sam. So it's in alphabetical order. So if you want to try and do an early alphabet thing, early numbers. If you want to go for 13s.
The hilarious thing is that Lord of the Rings and the one you guys are talking to should be right next to each other. Yes?
LMNOP.
Yeah, exactly.
There
so
are a lot, by the way.
If I miss, there's a good chance that I still might land at one of the good ones.
So how are you doing this, Adam? You went to action or what? Fantasy?
I went to fantasy and sci-fi.
And it's in there?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Yeah, it is. Ooh, buddy. Pick a number. Any number.
Yeah.
That you guys can count.
Yeah.
Oh, right?
Well, yeah, I mean,
is it by twos?
It's by twos.
2.
Two.
I'm
If she chose 2, she would be so pissed at herself.
How about 123?
All right.
I just wanted to make you guys scroll.
Okay, what was it?
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3?
1, 2, 3.
Okay. I think I know what it is.
How does it look?
Not bad.
Okay.
Okay, Tim, what did you get?
Godzilla.
I got Go Godzilla.
Woo!
Wait.
Well, Godzilla. Like from 2014?
2014, yeah. Where'd you get Go-Go?
Oh, it's Go Godzilla.
Oh, no, that confused the shit out of me. It's Godzilla
Sorry.
with the guys with the flares.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the same one I got.
123 only got me to G. I was never going to make it.
Well, technically, Tim, did you do movies? Because I saw Game of Thrones in there.
Shit.
We went A to Z. We included TV shows. We got to recount.
Do it.
Recount.
I don't think we can do the one that I landed on, Tim.
Why?
What'd you land on?
I landed on the hilarious posters. It's
I
3
did
minutes long.
too. Yeah, it's 3 minutes long. What the fuck? How is that a movie?
What?
It's literally 3 minutes long.
It's a silent movie. It's considered a movie. It's from 1906.
What the fuck?
I
All
mean,
right.
So it only got you
I
to
say,
H?
so I say we do that in combination with whatever because right? Like,
I would say, yeah, we'll still do it, but I say give her either, you want to give her a range of plus and minus 2? Because it could get really funny if she goes plus and minus 2, Tim.
Yep, sure, yep.
Plus and minus 2. You got to choose either, like, minus 2, minus 1, plus 2, plus 1. Plus 1, plus 2. This is going to be hilarious no matter which one you pick.
Yeah.
Gosh, hilarious regardless. Hard to believe. Let's go back to.
Hot damn, you got Herbie Fully Reloaded.
Oh, Jesus. What was the other option?
Hercules from 1983.
Yep,
oh,
was back one.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Classic.
The Hobbit.
Oh, shit! I missed out on The Hobbit. I can't believe 123 only gets you to H. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. I also have never
right.
seen The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, so.
What?
Or Herbie Fully Loaded, so.
Well, we're doing Herbie Fully Loaded.
Oh, with Lindsay Lohan
Yeah.
in it? This will be an interesting one.
God.
Yeah, we went through all 8 Harry Potters.
Oh, wait,
too.
what's his face? Justin Long's in it, or whatever his name
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
I'm down. All right, that just got better.
All right.
So we're also
it's gonna
doing the hilarious posters, right?
Posters.
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to have a double feature.
Yeah.
3 minutes long. That's amazing.
So,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, catch us next week with our double episode.
Our double feature.
Yeah, it's going to be all done in one single strip, though.
Mm-hmm.
Because it'll be like 10 times the length of that fucking...
You mean we can't talk for an hour about a 3-minute movie?
We could go into the whole history of silent films, but I don't want to bore people. So,
Seems fair.
yeah. So on that note, toodles.
Bye.
See you.